Okay, this serves as the Aspen Apartments blinds and window video. Okay, so for these vertical blinds, there's a couple things that can happen. If any of the blinds are broken or not working, they need to be replaced. They're located in the basement. To make sure that a blind works and to open and close a blind correctly, you turn the knob, and a lot of times the vertical blinds get caught. And so you need to make sure that they all have a gap in between them. Okay, as we can see over here, there's not a gap, so you need to make sure that they have a gap, so that way they all have it. That will allow them to open and close correctly. So now that we have that problem taken care of, you can continue turning the blind, and you want them all the way open sideways when you're going to close the blinds. So we see that all of them open up all the way, so there's nothing broken at the top. If there one of them or two of them won't turn, that means there's a problem up on the mechanism up here, and usually then we just replace the rod with a new rod, which is easy to do. Okay, so now to make sure that they function correctly, we're going to make sure that the blind opens up all the way. And you try to open the blind whenever they are not vertical or sideways, turned sideways, they will catch every time. But if you turn them, just like I showed you, take your time and then open it up, that blind seems to be in functioning order. If it were not in functioning order, you have to take all these little blinds out, you push up, slide it out, and that's how a blind comes out. When you want to put it back in, all you do is just simply stick it right back up like that until it snaps, and then it's back in place. If the whole blind itself needs to be replaced, this bar, there's a little clip right here. There's 3 of them, 1, 2, there's one at that end. You just simply snap that and it'll come out. You would do all 3 of those, and when you want to put it back up, you just slap it back up in there. Now, one more thing, sometimes these blinds the brackets are coming out of the wall. Almost all of them we have replaced and fixed. You need really long concrete screws to get to the concrete. It does not work to just simply put them anchored into the wall because the blind's too heavy and it's just going to pull out. So you would drill a hole, then take a concrete drill that's really long bit, drill through there, then take your blue concrete screws that are probably, I don't know, they're probably like 4.5 inches long or something, and you have to find some that are long enough that'll reach all the way to the concrete, because you got drywall and then open space, and then the concrete is finally on the back side, so they got to be really long. These are anchored correctly. Okay, that's how a blind should work. Okay, now the window itself always needs to lock. There's a locking mechanism on these windows. It's right here. If you see, it kind of slides back and forth. There's a little knob in there. It's got to slip in the hole. This one is not lined up in the hole. It is out of the hole. So the way to do that correctly is you take the window and you slam it shut on one end, and then you take it and you slam it shut on the other end. You've got to make sure you push pressure on both at the same time to make sure that the locking mechanism works. So then, if you can see there, the locking mechanism now is inside the window, which allows it to lock. Now, on this locking mechanism, occasionally this gets broken out and there's no place for the little lock to slide in. If you'll see here, there's a little hole there. I don't know if you can see that. I hope so. Yeah. There's the hole. That's where the lock goes into. If that gets broken, okay, then the lock won't slide in there anymore. So what you've got to do then is you go up, you push them open and closed all the way, and you find another location. You take the 2 screws out and you drill 2 pilot holes up higher, and you put the locking mechanism there. Then you still have to make a new hole inside this little piece right here. What I do is I take a small little bit and I drill through that in like 5 or 6 places, and then you take a screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver, and you punch through that to make a new slit for the hole for that to be able to go into. That's how you fix the doors. All apartments have to have working locks on all the windows, and before anybody moves in, all those doors and windows have to be shut and locked, and then you can pull the blinds back out and then turn them back to the way they were. And we're right back to where we started. Thanks a lot.